Okay, now we're ready.
Oh, hey, we're here.
Okay, hello. Welcome to the Bardic Inspiration Network. We are back for Power Rangers Solar City, episode 6. Sorry, I am having a bit of an off day. My name is Anne. This is my channel. Welcome. What's up? I will be playing Avery, our Silver Solar Ranger, and let's go around the table and meet all of my wonderful friends and castmates, starting with Talon.
Hello, I'm Talon. I am playing Fenrir, the Red Ranger.
And Nilsine.
Hi, I'm Nilsine. I am playing Muro, the Blue Ranger. Or Purple Ranger, technically.
Purple Ranger. Blue powers, it's a whole thing. And Minnie.
Hey, howdy, hey, what's up? I am Minnie, and I am playing the Black Ranger, Mariana Trench, who is actually Mariana Trench. How dare you?
Yes. And LK.
Hello, I'm LK, and I'm playing Gabriel, the Pink Spectrum Ranger.
Yay! And now we're going to throw it over to our GM, Ben.
Hello, I am Ben. I am the GM, and previously on Power Rangers Solar City, the eponymous Solar City has taken off into space, and under the command of Adira, the city's basically defense artificial intelligence, who's created this team of rangers. And after a fight with the evil Draculord and the also evil Glixtrick, who played havoc with the city systems, they finally managed to defeat Glixtrick, whose evil plan was to take control of the Hammerhead Shark Sword, and they destroyed Glixtrick. But Glixtrick had one final parting message as the group gathers around the table in the command center to discuss the upcoming hyper jump activation that's going to happen and take place and take the city all the way to another solar system. The screens all flicker, and across the entire city, Glixtrick leaves a message for them. With his parting words, he reveals that there is a dark truth or hidden, and not all is as not everyone that you know is as they seem. And across the screens all over the city, Mariana Trench's database and ID is brought up and displayed, and then it changes to reveal her real name, Andrea Elizondo. There we go, Andrea Elizondo. With complete with like birth, like naming records and all kinds of just random identification bits and occupation journalist. Number. Yeah. Basically, yeah. Social insurance number, all the business.
Everyone's getting free credit cards. My credit limit's just max.
That's messed
Well,
up.
it would be if you weren't all thousands of miles away from Earth. Yeah.
That's messed up.
So, and with that news revealed, Commander Evelyn Thorpe turns to look at Mariana / Andrea. What have you done? Explain now.
Above table, I would like to explain to the audience that Anne has informed me and put me in a precarious position because apparently the general, her mother, is played by Ellen Pompeo. So just imagine a very attractive Meredith Grey yelling at me. Okay, that said, I think Mariana is. How's like the setup of like the conference room slash? Is it like, are we at tables basically?
Yeah, there'd be a table.
Okay.
Like a kind of long oval thing.
Cool. So I think Mariana is like sitting wherever like the Rangers were like confluenced and has had like a different notebook out. Pointedly, it is not the same colored notebook that you guys would have seen. It's a different notebook entirely, and she's been taking notes on whatever this meeting was happening. And as the commander turns and like yells at her, she's just reacting to what's on the screen and has her hand in like her bomber jacket pocket and is just like gesturing at the screen. Commander, I don't believe this. You, with all respect, ma'am, this creature just tried to take over one of the Zords yesterday. It influenced all of our communications. It trapped Fenrir and Murrow in a room, caused havoc among the city, and is now trying to dox me with this fake information. Ma'am, this is a lie.
And we know this information is fake. How exactly? I will have my people looking into it, I can assure you.
Perfect. You do have my files.
Just above game one more time. Was there any significance in that information? Because I completely forgot that. So just above game real quick.
Relevant stuff. Mariana Trench, not who she says she is. Basically has a different name. Andrea Elizondo.
Allegedly.
Yep, allegedly, and probably other main thing being her occupation is a journalist, apparently.
Yeah.
As opposed to like the archivist that you would have understood her to be.
Yeah. So I say all of that and try to roll persuasion or deception, which I'm sure it'll.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference for either?
That's obviously deception.
But my persuasion is called the old razzle dazzle.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll roll deception. All right.
What do you get?
Ooh. Oh, okay. I thought it was really bad. It is an 18.
Okay, yeah. She got a 9, so she is like. I see your point. To be honest, with your previous actions, I still don't quite trust you. You were very quick to disobey orders on the first day, but you are a ranger, and obviously the city seems to trust you. So I will take the step for now to also trust you. But this is information that I was not previously aware of, and I will be looking into it. Is there anything else I should know about?
I broke my leg when I was 5 years old.
The question is that a lie? And would that have been in the
Commander?
Is that something that would have been true for Mariana as well?
It's
is
true.
That something you've included in your
Commander? Are you saying this is a good idea? Are you saying this is a good idea, Commander?
What a good idea?
Are you saying it's a good idea? We keep Miss Trench. Keep her walking around until we have everything that's verified.
I mean, at the moment, I don't think she has any plans to leave this room. I was certainly going to consider placing restrictions on her movement at the very least, she says pointedly, staring at Mariana. But anything more we shall see.
In her defense, she's done nothing wrong and has actually aided in the defense of the city. I would argue.
But for what purposes? I mean, I can trust that she has done so, but I'm still being suspicious as this base is my responsibility. Everybody aboard this city is my responsibility. Were anything to happen, particularly as a result of Miss Trench, then it would be my responsibility, my fault.
Keep in mind that Miss Trench is also a member of my team. So if we can compromise this, I would suggest that she stays with me in the Blue Spire under my watch.
I
think
can.
we're
Excuse me,
jumping.
Commander, sir?
Yes.
She was working with Neptune. We could keep her in the archive. With your permission, Miss Trench, she could stay in the archival tower. There's plenty of folks there who can make sure she is doing work and isn't getting into any sort of classified or things you don't want her to see. Most of it's written in a language she theoretically can't read anyway.
I suppose. Look. I mean, make a persuasion check.
Okay, because Avery's spoken up, can Murrow do it with an upshift as like an aid? I feel like we're all kind of
I'm gonna
vouching
say
for
you
Mariana
kind
right
of
now.
are. I think stacking everything together, I'll say edge as well, because based on like Mariana's previous thing, we'll combine that all into being an edge.
My proposal even get to my proposal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely something considering.
She certainly like darkened when you were like, let's stay in the Blue Spire, and then she like perked up more with like Murrow's let's do this other thing.
Avery was trying to be like, she's not a criminal, don't.
Yeah, well that's the other thing too. Yeah,
Like
Mariana
Avery was
is
like,
very
wait a minute, y'all just calm down.
Y'all are taking this creature's actions for okay, sure.
Did it happen? Let's go, Murrow.
So it rolled a 21 total.
Oh yeah, that blows her out of the water. Yeah.
I will personally stick around and make sure that things go all right if that works out.
Yes.
I mean, obviously not in her private quarters or anything, but if that makes people feel more comfortable, I'm not really doing anything that important right now.
I think that's acceptable given the various complicated factors involved in this. Until we have more information, I think we can say yes, assuming she doesn't get any significant access to confidential information or anything like that, which she shouldn't be accessing anyway. I think we're all good, and especially given that Neptune's whole jurisdiction is maybe somewhat separate from my own. I suppose while she works for him, it is his prerogative.
Thank you, Commander.
Don't make me regret my generosity.
Of course. I will work in the archives like I applied here to do.
I'm sorry,
it's like on to other business, and there's in the background Glixtrix voice is just repeating the same thing and like the things flashing. So will someone switch that off? Thank you.
Commander.
Okay. Now can someone
Commander, may I?
Switch on the display screen in the consoles so we can actually access the information that I brought everyone here to see? Good. Okay, thank you. So before we got distracted by other matters, the city is going to perform a hyperspace jump in approximately 4 hours' time. Destination is currently unknown unless Adira can enlighten us. I can try. There is nothing. The destination system has no particular features of interest. There is no point in my describing it further other than that it is a red dwarf star system with no notable planet formations. Okay, thank you. Anything? So, are we all prepared? Is the city going to be in a reasonable state?
Adira,
Everyone.
Adira, are you certain your own destination systems aren't damaged as well? And perhaps you have just an incomplete knowledge of what these hyperjumps are.
It is possible. My dataset has not been updated in the last 12,000 years. However, based on the scale of planetary formation, there should be minimal changes over that time period. Of course, it is entirely possible that settlements or space travelers may have set up homes or passed through that region, performing any number of changes. However, most likely there has been nothing.
Bring up our destination, will you? Let's just take a look. Let's just take a look at it with our own eyes, even if it says that, even if you say that there's nothing of interest.
Of course, she'll bring up a star system map, star map with it's just the kind of region around. It skips over a few hundred light years, and it's like a few hundred light years away in a particular direction. That's not really relevant, but and it's a single red dwarf star. There's a kind of like asteroid belt protoplanetary disk stuff that hasn't really formed into any major bodies, any major planets or anything like that. Just a series of asteroids around a red dwarf star.
Hmm.
I think Mariana raises her hand.
Yes.
Adira, is there anything in your historical archives that points that this is a place of interest, even though there's nothing here?
No. Initial
Avery?
jumps are intended to travel to safe destinations with minimal sites of interest, just to establish initial working order of the hyperjump machinery.
So this is like a practice run? We're just hyper jumping to nowhere?
A hyperjump, a practice one that is taking us in the correct direction. It would be inadvisable to jump into a potentially occupied system until full assessment of the hyperjump drive's capabilities, especially after 12,000 years.
Can you calculate? Can you show us the next destination after this? After we jump to that place?
That is up to you. I have a degree of control over the next destination. Obviously, it does have to be according to the recall protocols, it does have to be in the direction of the Solar City's founding, the foundry that forged the Solar City. But beyond that, it can be any number of locations. There are civilized hubs or more deserted locations, relay points for intergalactic communication, or hubs of black market dealings. There are many locations that we can travel to. The galaxy is a vast place, and a lot of it is in the correct direction that we need to go in.
Miranda, I defer to you. What are you prioritizing at this moment after this jump?
Right now, I want to make sure that this jump goes through safely. After that, I'll take any suggestions. I think we may need supplies is probably our best bet.
Resupply will be good.
This expedition was intended to use resupply from other facilities, and while the Solar City does have the capability to produce food and materials on its own, it would be in our best interests to try and gather some more resources of really any kind, whether that be food or technology, just anything we can use to make life here a bit easier.
So if we could set up an expanded early detection system of any threats, that would be helpful as well.
Some kind of actually. Dr. J. Evans will go, yes, actually, some kind of over above hyper light speed sensors that would allow us to detect activity galaxy wide and therefore help to filter our travels, so we can figure out what locations would be more dangerous and which ones would be safer. Yes, that's a good idea. Once we've got the Zord project online, or maybe I should do this one first. I'll work on it. We've also got the Zord project to work on, but this will be another one. I could put Gabriel on it if you think you're up to it.
Sorry, I wasn't listening to that. I'm wide awake.
Right. No worries. I was just wondering if you'd be interested in trying to set up a hyper light communication and detection suite of some kind, try and expand our sensor range to light years in diameter.
Yes, making sure that our destinations are safe would be good. Yes, of course. I'm not. Yes.
I mean, I can put someone else on it if you'd prefer to work on something else.
No. Wait, sorry. If I prefer to.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
honestly, and this may sound ridiculous from me, but allowing citizens to be able to disembark this whole city for a time being before the jump when we hit that supply station might do some good, at least to relieve some tension around.
Yes, I suppose. I mean, it probably hasn't been all that long since our last shore leave, but a lot has happened. I think we could all use some. Naturally, obviously, some of the staff will have to stay here full time, but I like that idea. We can try and find somewhere that we can resupply, and if it's a friendly enough place, we can send crew members off to get some R&R. Excellent thinking. I assume everyone's happy with that? You're not going to complain about a little rest and relaxation, are you?
Happy is a relative term, but I suppose that's a good plan.
Gabriel looks like he's gonna raise an argument and then just gives up. French word.
When you say shore leave, it's just a break, right? If I didn't want to leave the city at all, it would be fine, right?
Yeah, that would be fine. Obviously, if we end up having an extended stay in this city, there may come a time where I might make such periods of rest mandatory just to ensure that our crew is in proper working order. But for now, no. I'm not going to make you leave the city, and I'm not going to make you have fun or anything like that.
Oh, I intend to have fun. I just don't do space.
Well, you don't know when. Well, you don't know the next time you're going to be able to leave, to be able to set foot on some different ground. So that's just something to consider here.
I'm pretty sure Avery is capable of finding fun and relaxation without leaving the city.
Yeah, I get the feeling I may have misspoken there slightly. Regardless, all of this is ahead of us. Right now, I need to know if there's any last-minute preparations we need to make the jump. I believe everything is set up to go, and Adira has told me it's all fine, but I just want to confirm with everyone here that there aren't any problems or anything that we need to deal with. And from the sounds of that silence, because you wait for like other department heads and stuff to pop their hands up and talk. No, okay, I'll take it that we're all good to go. There'll be a citywide alarm going out approximately 10 minutes before the jump, and then you'll get a 30-second countdown. Other than that, dismissed. And
Okay,
get to
come in.
work. So, yeah, we know what Mariana and Morrow are doing. They're going off to see Neptune / work in the archives. Gabriel is probably going to be working on that advanced sensor suite stuff. Any thoughts for Avery or Fenrir? Or are you just going to be having a rest somewhat? No particular goals before the jump.
I mean, I always have thoughts about what Avery is doing, but I wanted to see what everyone else is doing first.
Yep.
Fenrir is clearing out his quarters.
Okay.
Demo.
Yeah.
So Avery is still very determined to help Carcharodon get more memories back. But she also has kind of a specific interest in the Zord project. After all of the like rubble that she found in the Silver Spire, and has diligently included that in her report. So she probably wants to see if there's a way for her to help. It's a little bit outside of her jurisdiction, because like her actual work, but
yeah,
she just, when she's interested in something, she's gonna go find out what's up, and she's gonna find out what the status is on the Zords, and see if the pieces she's collected and salvaged from the Silver Spire are helping.
Yeah. So I think Dr. Evans is working on that, so you can go and see him and talk to him, and you'll find that basically, like, yeah, he appreciates any help you can offer. It seems he's most interested in talking with Carcharodon and getting like Carcharodon's potential insights into this stuff. At the moment, it looks like the Zords are in a they've been kind of semi-complete for a while now. It looks like they're making some progress. There's like all the holes have been repaired, kind of, and he'll talk about, or you'd either know, or he'll be talking about how they've like spliced in, how it's actually those Zords are based on kind of alien DNA, and they've had to sort of splice in Earth animal DNA of a similar kind in order to like give it an animal form, basically, and stabilize the Zord constructs. yeah, that probably goes and stuff. So you can just go and help with that. Actually, make a technology roll just to see how
good I
progress
am
goes
at
on
helping.
yeah, just for the, I guess, for you and also for the department as a whole.
Okay, I would like to use my. Oh, can I have it so that Carcharodon is hanging out? I just
Oh,
put
yeah.
Carcharodon on like a desk or something, and he's just parked there. Like, it's like I think they understand we're a package deal.
Yeah.
Is that work being done in the men's science department? Like, would that mean that we're
Yeah, actually, it's probably in their separate Zord bays that they've got going on, but it
what a
wouldn't be
shame.
out of the way.
That's a bummer. Okay, let me double check.
Watching Avery work is such a rare sight.
Wow.
He wanted to check it off his cryptid card.
Yeah,
I think
it was on his bucket list.
Gabriel's like, ugh, I can check that off my bingo card. Avery doing work.
Avery's working, check.
You're gonna
Hold
need
on.
aloe for that burn. Ow.
Listen, I expect it. All right, so I'm gonna roll that with Edge because Carcharodon's hanging out and helping. I still only have a D2, but that's fine. I rolled an 18. Oh.
Oh, right, 18. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, basically the things I told you before. A lot of progress is made. I guess relevant, something interesting that I don't know if I've mentioned that you'd be able to gather from that is that whereas the other DNA is more like alien in nature, and has had to be changed, actually, analyzing Carcharodon's Hammerhead Shark Zord and the original DNA that he seems to be based on is actually an Earth hammerhead shark. Like, wasn't changed or altered to be a hammerhead shark like the other ones were altered to be a mantis shrimp or a dolphin. He's always been a hammerhead shark, as far as any of you are able to tell.
Wow.
So,
okay, that's rad. Yeah, no, Avery's just helping. She is like, she'll look at Carcharodon and say, "Hey, look at what I found," and they'll essentially she's just talking to this hammer like it's the most normal thing in the world, and just like,
and everyone around you is trying their best to treat it like it's the most normal thing in the world.
yeah, that's basically it, and yeah. So she's helping speed up the process for everyone else's Zords to come online.
Okay, so let's hop over now to Morrow and oh yeah.
Actually, I was wondering, is it bringing on a scheduled appointment for therapy for Fenrir?
Yeah, that can be. I'd say you probably want to throw that in after the jump, I imagine.
Okay.
But we can say he tidies his room and then he's going to have a chat with Scott later on. Yeah, so let's do Mariana and Morrow. You both head back over to King Neptune's lair, I guess, or sorry, former King Neptune's lair. He would be, yeah. He's got his like meeting hall and swimming tank and all the kind of stuff, and the whole water network that leads through the canals that run through the city. Yeah, and if you call ahead, he'll be there to greet you. Otherwise,
yeah, I'd at least send a quick little heads up. And then as we're going, there, Mariana, let me know before you leave and I'll come with you. Not too worried about it. Just, We gotta make sure the commander isn't freaked out, apparently.
Yeah. We do have to cross our I's and dot our T's, I guess, but it's frustrating. So I appreciate you speaking up, since me using logic really wasn't working for her. This is nice, at least. At least I can actually do what I came here to do.
Yeah, well, you've been keeping a lot of notes on stuff, so it's nice if we actually get to use your observation skills and thought processes. You were hired, so not like you can go home.
I mean, I don't know. It looked like she wanted to vent me out of an airlock for 2 seconds there, so I'll get home one way or another.
Well, we'll try and make sure that doesn't happen. Well, the airlock. Hopefully, we'll get home.
Okay, yeah, that would be great. Yeah, one day, hopefully. But Adira is jumping us to, stars knows where, so we'll figure it out, I guess.
If nothing else, you guys, there'll be a lot more of the well, no, I guess humans have gone to other space planets, but this will be new. You all can film disembarking videos. There's that one that's always being played.
Yeah, get some new footage for the reel. Yeah.
We're really slow on that, but yet, you know what? That's actually a good idea. We could market it as an archive project.
Ooh.
Yes, no, the only Earth footage is the one of a bunch of astronauts opening up a dumpster.
Yeah,
that seems to be the main one that gets played all the time for some reason.
I think Mario actively writes that down in the journal as they're walking. And actually, really though, thank you for speaking up for me, and I'm sorry you effectively have to act as my ankle bracelet.
It's not a problem. I mean, you were chosen to be a ranger. From what I know, that basically means I guess you can do bad. There have been evil rangers, but theoretically, you're a good person. So even if you were someone else, you're still that good person.
I put on my resume, at least. Theoretically a good person. So after we do whatever Neptune wants us to do today, you want to go exploring some of the spires?
Yes, but we'll need to yeah, let me work on something for that while we're working.
I just whatever I can do to archive, and it seems like no one's really touched the spires beyond, blue and now silver.
Yeah, we will need to explore. Ben, I think we're probably at a time if you want Neptune to pop in, go for it.
Yeah. I guess you'll just show up at his quarters. Greetings. I was informed that you'd be working here some more this day. How may I be of assistance? I suppose the question is, how may you be of assistance to me?
That is the question, sir.
Indeed. Well, I have not been given many specific instructions, though I understand I should be careful with the work that is assigned to you. However, we have a lot of things that need cataloging, and I think that is probably a suitable task to assign the both of you. research-wise, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. However, just simple cataloging, we have lots of data, lots of files that just need sorting for the most part. From there can be in-depth analysis, but just at least cataloging the type of data, again, it's an alien language and an ancient language here, and so we can barely even understand most of what's going on, but just a case of trying to sort things. The two of you good to work on that?
I think so.
Yeah, that sounds as good a plan as any. Although I did just want to mention, has the new incoming data been grabbed from the northern helicarrier port? Because that was what Checkpoint was going to get before everything happened yesterday.
This is now something I'm to remember, because that was he was setting up a lot of like data stuff for like transferring the new phones and stuff like that over new communicators. I believe that was your character.
Yeah, if I remember, I think he was like it was something for archives, but
okay, yeah, probably. So I guess yes, that has all managed to find its way through to here eventually. Well, I say eventually. It's taken less than a day, so that's all good. Which is, given what has happened in this day, it is a reasonable achievement.
Okay, data tagging and cataloging. Sounds like a delightful day for a librarian.
So, yep, I can. If you've got any questions for him or anything in particular you're going to try and look for in the data, if you're going to do anything other than just try and catalog it, let me know. Otherwise, I'll move on to Gabriel.
I think we're good for now, unless there's something, Mariana.
No, I think she did try to start memorizing the markings on the shark sword, so I think she's just in the back of her mind going to like start trying to look for anything that has similar markings in any of the data she's looking at and cataloging.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, but you can do that, and you might have. Yeah,
it was so quick. I'm not assuming
I guess it'll be a thing where
gonna find
if
anything.
you see a similar symbol come up, you can kind of mark those as something similar. There'll be actually, it'll be the Silver Zord, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, what I say is you don't really actually. Well, I guess this is an opportunity. Regardless, I'll tell you that, like, the markings don't show up. Basically looks like a different alphabet actually that's on the Silver Zord compared to the alphabet that's being used for all this stuff. And I guess actually it's not really an alphabet; it's more like pictographic, like images and carvings and like scroll work and stuff like that. If you want to make a culture check, you can do, and I can go in a bit more. I don't actually. It would be an ancient history related culture check, but I don't think that's a specialization you've got.
Culture, but it's not a specialization I would have.
I am trained in it, and I would. Well, I actually can't see since you're comparing it to something in your head, so never mind.
Yeah.
I mean, she certainly has her notebook open, so as we're like cataloging things, you can probably definitely see her like flipping through images, pictures of stuff, and is just kind of mentioning it.
Well. But
all right. Well,
but I'll call it a high difficulty.
I was actually just going to try and help her if she needs compare the languages, if that's a thing you'd like me to do.
Yeah, that'd be rad. I think Mariana, looking at everything, kind of like mentions it and says something like, so I know everyone's looking at like the data side of this and is looking at the technological advancements that the Zords are, but I'm really curious about the archival side of it, the history side of this.
It's a good thing.
Just
Sorry.
the silver sword just looks different. It's got different markings on it that doesn't look like a lot of the things here in the city. And
Really? Did you?
Yeah, she kind of like holds up her notebook and is like, "Did you not notice this? It's actually on the shoulder pauldron." It was very interesting.
Oh, I didn't. Here, let's see if we can figure out something. That actually, even if it's not technological, like you said, that could be really helpful. My people, this isn't quite like the legends people thought, and it would be really good to know more before we go to wherever everything came from, if nothing else.
That's just my thought, and I would be curious to actually hear about the legends. Everyone kind of loosely talks about them, but hasn't actually heed them or mentioned them much, and I feel like that's really relevant to everything that's happening right now.
Let's work on seeing this language first. You'll get an edge on your roll, and technically I think an upshift, because I'll get 2 when I'm able to instruct on language, I assume would count, as I also have culture.
Amazing. So then all that in mind, what is an upshift? It is basically like rolling with advantage, essentially.
You that's the edge. The upshift means you roll 1 higher skill die than normal.
Got it. Okay. Perfect. So, okay. Awesome. By the power of teamwork, I rolled a 28.
Holy heck!
28.
Wait, hold on. Did you max on your skill die?
I did, yeah, because I had a D6 in culture, and then that gave me a D8. So
that is a crit. If you max on your skill die, it's a crit.
Yeah. Okay. So that's. I think you do. You get a story point from a crit.
Yes.
Was that? Yeah. So, or something happened.
Something awesome happens, like
Mariana. It's very good.
Mariana so knows all the things.
Yeah, I guess what you'd be able to do is take, because it's more of a pictographic thing, rather than like actual writing or an alphabet. It would be linked more into like the pictures and stuff that were in the archives. The files were like images attached, basically, rather than just the file names.
Okay.
And there are some similarities. Things occasionally show up. Again, you're just kind of cataloging them quickly, so you don't really have much time to translate any of the things. But that will, it is something that comes up, and it does seem to be stuff more from like the most recent of the files there. So a lot of the older stuff from the Solar City, from like 14,000 years ago, say, doesn't apply, like doesn't reference it at all, and doesn't have anything similar. But 12,000 years ago, some of the symbols start to crop up again. But the main thing you'll be able to know is that it's similar to essentially before humans invented written language, and it's similar to like not quite like Stone Age carvings, but there's a lot of similarities to you be able to pick out the city of Jericho, which is the oldest human settlement on Earth, which was about 9,000 BC-ish, so up to 1,000 years after the Solar City was last sighted. It was last reported anything after it got destroyed. So there's links in there to the earliest like humans, and at least the stuff on Carcharodon's back ties in with symbols from that era.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Very interesting.
Yeah. I think Moreau's like starting to get lost in the sauce with Mariana, as Mariana's like flipping through different pages of her journal and is like, here's a rough timeline of human history. Here's where I think this is. And that's fascinating.
Yeah, and like you've probably got because I imagine there's got to be some like big threat cryptids related to that kind of city and timeline. So Mariana probably has some kind of knowledge of that stuff. Yep.
A few moments. Actually, Fenrir is in the Zord Bay, looking for his Zord. For the
Okay,
moment.
you're gonna have Fenrir. So, do you want to do that? Because I think the plan is to go to LK for some more stuff there. Do you want to do that before or after the jump? Is he going to be looking for? When's he going to be looking at his Zord stuff?
I say before.
Okay. No,
Does that change things if I say before? Or
no, it doesn't. The jump's gonna basically be a scene. It's not gonna well, it will drastically change things, and it won't drastically change anything. You still have time to do things. Don't worry.
I
I'm
just
not a cliffhanger, but yeah, you'll get to do stuff.
all I do is for a moment. I think Mariana Murrow will probably see Fenrir in the Zord Bay.
Well, we're at the archive tower. We're not in the Zord Bay.
I think I believe Avery's at the Zord Bay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Avery's working on things right now in the Zord Bay. Also,
I'm just sitting there and trying to figure out the controls because even though I've seen the controls, I am not good at driving at all.
Yeah, it's not in a working driving state, but they've definitely got the cockpit online. Like I think they're probably using Avery's the Carcharodon Zord as like a reference for its cockpit and kind of building it around you, sort of like using their test pilot interface stuff that they've worked on with you before, and yeah, like it's not. They've kind of got the shell built, and they've got a lot of the internal stuff now. They're putting in seats and trying to sort out controls, but none of the Zords are coming alive yet. Not really active at the moment, and hopefully it's just going to be just a case of you should be nearly done, and it's just like a final spark of life needs to go into them, and they'll be off. But
right now I'm just sitting in the seat. I'm just like trying to figure out the controls for myself first.
Yeah, okay. Actually, let's give you a driving check just to see how familiar you feel with this stuff going around him.
I only have a D20, so I only have a D20.
Wait, hold on. Are there no ranks? You roll?
I have no ranks.
You roll. Okay, hold on.
Did you grab skills on level up this?
Hold on. There's something, right, where you never roll with a snag when you're in a Zord? Nilsine?
That sounds
that's a
I
thing.
think so, because I believe you get to count the Zord as helping you drive, basically.
I mean, in this case, the Zord won't be helping you drive because the Zord.
Oh, okay. The Zord's
it's not on yet.
Yeah,
So,
that was what they were working on.
case,
So
you will definitely have a snag.
It's
But if
good
you
luck.
leveled up skills and stuff for level 3, we will want to go over that later on. And because you might be able to pick up driving there, or if you wanted to move skills around so that you can drive.
I'm just providing an RPable moment here. So
yes, but that is also. We'll make you a roll, and we'll
see what happens. I guess.
See whether it goes well or not.
So it's with snag, right? So roll twice, pick the lowest.
So, yeah, roll 2d20s, 2d20s,
Amazing.
keep the lowest.
Well, that's a natural one.
Okay, well, that's a story point, I believe.
Yeah.
How many are we at? We're at 7.
You start with so I think that takes you up.
I'm not using this. I'm not using a point for this.
Yeah, no, don't use it.
No, you don't need to use it to reroll, but you get a free story point when you do spectacularly badly.
Fantastic.
So you can save it up and use it for the next thing. So yeah, I think you just go right, sit down. Probably they're like, right, okay, let's go. Okay, we've got the pedals in place. We've got the the control thing. All you need to do is, and you just like insert your card in and start pulling levers. And it's like, oh no, that's a little.
No.
And
If
on the plus side, the Zord begins to actually kind of maybe move. Like you seem to have kind of given it like a kick, kind of jump.
I immediately cut cut the power from at that moment.
Yeah, the sort of in surprise, it comes to life and starts like not quite comes to life, but like it's spasms almost and kind of like an engine like kind of kick starting, and it like kicks in there and moves a bit, and at the moment it looks like it's just gonna. For a moment, it looks like it's gonna like race off, kind of out of control, and then you pull on more things and you grind it to a halt, and the Zord kind of stays restrained in its current position, and all the console lights around you kind of just shut off. Okay,
does Avery know this is happening? She's trying to work on this. Like,
yeah, Avery's probably not working specifically on that one. She's probably like, unless you want to say otherwise, she's probably working on like
she's
getting general information from Carcharodon. But she definitely sees this happen. Yeah.
So she's just like checks one of the consoles to make sure that the Zord itself is not like going rogue, and just like prepares to see if there's an override or something. Like and she's just checking this out, and she's like, she doesn't know what's happening because she's at a console, but she's like, okay, what the hell is happening?
You can see
who's
like
messing
there's
with
a couple scientists like crowded around, I guess, the cockpit, like going to obviously doing something and trying to set stuff up inside, but then the whole thing starts shaking and your console flares up.
She activates comms to the actual bay and says, "Hey, is everything okay there?"
Yeah. It's fine. Just try not to.
I don't know if anyone's told you, but these aren't finished yet.
Well, actually, that seemed surprisingly almost successful. Maybe we could. Oh no! They're nowhere near finished. Oh no. Well, it's valuable data. You've given us valuable data.
Avery, I don't know if there's like a console with like her face, like if it's video comms or if it's just
Oh
audio.
yeah.
So she's just like sighs, and then she says, all right, that's great. Can we not mess with any of the tech right now? Me and Carcharodon are still working some things out to help this along.
Then why not try? Why not come down here and we can work on this together? Explain.
Okay.
I think there might have been some communication issues involved. Like Carcharodon pipes up. I think maybe we can leave the working on the Zords to maybe a little bit later. I think there's maybe been enough work on them done for now. I'm sure that the capable scientists have this all under control. Do you guys want to go grab a drink or something? Relax.
Avery looks at Carcharodon and says, "You're a hammer, dude." But then she says, "If you want to talk about relaxing, I have an idea." It's like, Fenrir, you in?
Kind of looks down for a moment. Just all right, fine.
Okay, so here are the rules. Pick one personal vehicle of choice, nothing bigger than a motorcycle, and then meet me at these coordinates, and she sends the coordinates to a specific part of the city that's been unexplored.
Well,
You
Avery
see, you're just
working.
doing that because you know he's got no ranks in driving now.
Oh, I wasn't thinking that through.
No, but it's
Well,
be an interesting race.
yeah,
No, it's
somewhere, somehow, Gabriel just saying, I knew that Avery working wouldn't last very long.
look, it lasted a whole hour or whatever, how long it took for her to provide the data and actually help.
So yeah, when would you have set the timeline for that? Because it's probably about 2 or 3 hours to jump at this point.
Blah, blah, blah. After she would have set it like 2 hours before the jump, like after she's done all of the helping.
Okay. Yeah.
She ends up doing work in places she hasn't been hired to do work. Like if Mariana is the archivist part, she's supposed to be like the data collecting part, but she does she does her own thing. It's just really
Together, Mariana and Avery would make a whole Nathan Drake.
A whole Nathan Drake, yes. So the timeline is an hour and like 2 hours before the jump.
Okay. Yeah. So good. So I figure Mariana and Mara are probably just going to work through that time, and Gabriel is going to do some. Do you want to do some science stuff to make some technology rolls or something to get some
science.
do some sensoring stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Let's try and figure it out.
You should develop a satellite that's just a boomerang so it can go out to far galaxies and come back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what radar is, right? You send out a bunch of boomerangs, and then the ones that bounce back tell you where things are. Or no, it's the ones that don't bounce back or something tells you. If you hear a thunk, then you know something's there.
If they survive the trip, then everything's fine. Yeah. Yeah, let's make sure that I can do this. Yeah, it's fine. Completely fine. Why would I be able to do this? It's simple word, really.
Yeah, let's say difficult.
Quest.
Yeah, technology check.
Mm,
Probably difficulty 15, but if you fail,
Yeah.
you'll be able to try again later at a lower difficulty as you
Mhm.
iterate and stuff.
and would my
Not Power Rangers stuff. No, not Morphin.
no
Unless
Power
you
Grid,
want
no,
to try and work that into it somehow.
no Morphin Grid.
Because you could probably rig up a sensor
Yeah.
to work in a using the morphing grid, but
Yeah.
that would come with some advantages and some disadvantages.
What type of disadvantages would that incur?
So I just see, like for your role, you wouldn't get any penalties or anything like that. But using the morphing grid is connected to all living things and that kind of stuff. So it would help you with sensing living things. And in terms of getting surveying planets and stuff like that, it wouldn't
That would help.
be super
Okay.
helpful. It might
Yeah.
it wouldn't let you know its climate or anything like that, but it might let you know, let you scan for life signs kind of thing, and give
Mhm.
you a rough idea of if there's life there, what kind it is. Whereas other kinds of sensors would be able to tell you, what the planet is like and what its geology is and its climate and
Wait.
any structures there. So
I mean,
I guess the
Could
more
I do both?
Hmm?
Because both of those sound very useful. being able to tell living things and being able to scan for planets and this type of stuff.
So what I'll say is, for now, you're only really going to be able to work on one of them.
Yeah,
Because they are essentially two
of course.
entirely different detection systems.
Yeah. Let's go for the weird outbreak first then. I think that's the most important.
Yeah, just the
No specialization. Oh shit. 50. Of course. Oh, I crit on the skill dice, but I rolled a 4 on the
I don't think that
D20.
makes a difference on a failure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is that is not a success. But you make some progress. You're starting, like, it takes a little while to get a hang of the city systems, but once you do, you feel like you're going to be able to do a better job in future. So you're kind of lowering the difficulty for any future attempts.
I know exactly where I failed. I forgot the coffee. I leave the research lab to get some very big coffee because that's what I. Of course, it wasn't anything about not understanding. I understand that a lot. Of course.
So, meanwhile, at a set of coordinates in a previously unexplored area of the city, is there any particular description you want to give this area? Something with some more, like, is it near one of the spires, or like a more aquatic area, or a more rocky city area?
I want it to be just are there any unexplored spires left?
I think most of them aren't explored. Definitely the blue and the silver ones have. The green one is just rubble. The is basically just rubble. It's all ruined. I think I said the red one's been explored. So that leaves black and pink.
I'm gonna go to the. I want it. Okay, so the way I envisioned this scene was that it was gonna be like an exploration, like just kind of like a drive, but nothing like too stressful. That's why I said like a personal vehicle,
Oh,
like
okay.
like like because she was gonna bring her skateboard. It wasn't gonna be like a race. It was just gonna be like an opportunity, I think, for Avery to show what she is about and what she really has a passion for. And so she hasn't seen the Green Spire rubble before. So that's where she has sent the coordinates to for Fenrir. And when he gets there, she's already there. And I imagine it's just like a huge area of the city that she can like skateboard around and like maybe dig up some stuff and like do some searching and just learning. And
So what are we looking? So what are we looking for?
That's the thing. We don't know what we're looking for. I don't know what I'm looking for when I get here. There's a certain joy in discovery, Fenrir. That's why I do what I do. And I want to like be able to search the area for like clues as to what happened in this rubble. Like, like how last session she found out about the rubble in the Silver Spire and all of that the fight that happened there and the destroyed Zord. Like, she wants to show Fenrir how she learns and discovers things, essentially like her preferred method of
Yeah. Okay.
discovery.
I'm actually just now realizing I'm not entirely sure what that would be. I think that's kind of an alertness roll, right? To
Yeah, like
search
I guess
through
a,
debris and stuff like that.
like a perception,
Hmm.
probably.
Yeah. Alertness.
Okay. Okay.
And
And
I think actually does actually I can just look at what skills you have. But I was going to ask. I
yes,
think
you
Fenrir's
can.
got like an investigation specialization in alertness or
Or
something.
perception specialization.
Yeah, I
You
think
can do
that.
that.
But
that would
first,
probably
first I
be
want to see
better.
what Avery does.
Avery climbs up to some of the rubble and just starts looking. Ugh, no! I rolled a natural 1. Can I use a story point to reroll that?
Yes, you can.
I mean, I'm asking the group if they're cool with me using
Oh
one
yeah.
of our 7.
Sorry.
Go for it.
Rules wise, you're
Yeah.
allowed to.
The crumbs.
I rolled a 13.
Okay. Yeah. You're able to like there's a lot of rubble here. A lot of it's been lost. Like it will take a lot of digging to find anything. Nothing particularly stands out, but like picking up pieces of rubble, it looks like some kind of probably like laser damage, something similar to what was done to the Zord in the Zord base, some kind of to the Gold Zord, like some kind of high energy weapon impact, maybe a secondary. Actually, yeah, for high energy impacts punching through stuff, but the rubble's splayed out like it came from a secondary explosion, like the parts of the spire itself exploded outwards. Though kind of the core structure of the spire is mostly still standing.
So Avery points this out to Fenrir and says, okay, so there was an explosion here, and here's the rubble from the secondary explosion. Now, we can deduce from this particular scene that, you know, there was a huge fight here, and you know, and she starts like explaining how to learn, like how she learns from the rubble, and like, you know, how she makes deductions on what may or may not have happened here, and how the damage was done. And Fenrir almost sees like a childlike joy in just the process of digging up and searching and looking for this information. And she says, this here is a clue as to what dangers this city has faced in the past, which means we could theoretically learn from this, and we can take that information and prepare ourselves. That's why I do what I do. I may not be the fighter you think I should be, but there's many ways for us to prepare to defend this city. This is the way I'm good at doing it. We can arm ourselves with knowledge just as easily as we can arm ourselves with weapons.
Let's see. Well, if you're going to arm yourself with knowledge, don't want to spend too much time trying to just dig around in the dirt and realize it. And Fenrir actually does morph.
Okay, you're gonna use. What's your plan with that then? I mean, he will successfully morph.
Fenrir puts his hand on Avery's shoulder, and then puts his hand on the ground. And then, as the Neuralink in his visor starts to work through, starts to concentrate. All right, there it is. Take a look at your communicator. And I'll just say ultrasonic blast, and a pulse works through. And a sonic pulse works through the ground.
Okay. So, using your basically Sonic, because I think we've established that as a thing you can do. So, Sonic Pulse is going through the ground and stuff like that. I'm going to say probably again that will be an alertness check with your perception bonus, but I'm going to give you an extra upshift as well for the power
Okay. So
usage.
that puts
Um,
me at
roll-
D6.
Roll with specialization is what it
yes.
is, right?
So you'll
Yeah.
be doing a D6, a D4, and a D2,
Yep, I got that.
and just take the highest.
Let's just do that this way. So D20.
Um,
That's a 10 plus.
I think in response to Fenrir saying you don't want to take too much time, she does say, digging around is the fun part.
It is the fun part. But if you find, but not so much if you start, not so much if you consistently find duds. There's a 12.
Okay, a 12. Yeah, you're able to. I think because you're looking for something like you're not trying to analyze the rock, like each of the rocks, and go through them as a whole. You're looking for like specific things that might show up within there. Or actually, I guess with a general like sonar pulse, you're able to actually map out the area fairly effectively. So it does look like rubble's collapsed over a lot of this stuff. Looks like actually the floor around this area has probably collapsed as well, and there's maybe an underground, like what would have been like the hangar down here has since, like all the rocks and rubble has kind of collapsed into that and filled that up, and the floor that would have been above it has broken. There's the like going down far enough, the like sonar detection stuff is messed up by all of the rocks, in terms of being able to find any detail in it, and all of this stuff would take too long to clear, in any kind of reasonable length of time. But there's definitely something down there, and actually, like the sonar pulse will pick up. Yes, no, there's not something large down there. Actually, that's what you'd also be able to tell. Actually, I'll say that's what you're able to tell is that the hangar's empty, essentially. So, unlike the gold spire where there was definitely something inside, based on the sonar pulses, you're able to roughly map out this area, and it doesn't look like there's anything major inside. There's not a large Zord, which would have showed up quite obviously. Other than that, you're not able to pick out anything in too much detail. It's possible there are random items and stuff hidden in this pile of rubble, but you're not able to find them at the moment. It's going to take a lot of work, and a lot of painstaking and careful work if you want to try and catalog this stuff or open things up into the hangar bay below.
So there's no signs of anything, like there isn't a destroyed Zord or anything, like there's no signs of anything we can tell.
I mean, like there might be stuff just in the room, but like nothing on the scale of a Zord.
Okay.
Like a console or something like that wouldn't really show up on the scale that Fenrir is able to search at.
Well,
So yeah, that's really interesting. We can. I have questions about why this hangar doesn't seem to show signs of a Zord scale anything in there. So definitely something that might direct further research.
go ahead and save that. Go ahead and save that in your communicator.
Okay. I'm gonna I guess like save the data from my communicator, like whatever Fenrir has shown in the whatever Fenrir has shown through his whatever it is that he just did. My brain.
Yeah.
And he and then she says, it's been a struggle to try to convince the commander that there's value in having a full archaeology team here. What might seem to be me going rogue is just me trying to, go places where the research might not be covered right now. I mean, there are exploratory teams, but nothing to the scale that would actually efficiently dig up the mysteries of this spire. So, I don't know, I've been slowly chipping away at this mystery for the last 6 months. That's how long I've been working with the initiative, correct, Ben?
Yeah,
6
something
months?
like that. Yeah.
I know what people think of me. I know the reputation I have. But that's where it comes from.
He nods. Well, now you have something to work. Now you have something to work with. Next time we come down here, we'll get some drills, rappel in, see what we find downstairs. See what we find down there.
Okay. So, moving on from that scene, the camera will go up out of this bubble and off into space, away from the city, in this domed city with its 6 spires, shrinking up off into the distance. And the camera turns around at the sight of a large angular spacecraft with kind of sharp wings and a dark shape that has previously spent some time on the solar city itself. This is Draculord's craft, and within the craft, the bat-like Draculord sits on a throne, like a kind of, or I guess a command chair at the center of a bridge. Oh yes, this has not gone according to plan. But I must claim the Solar City for my master, the Midnight Emperor. Pray tell me, and he'll swivel in his chair around to face someone else. What can you do to help me? And in front of him, there is a kind of large insectoid human kind of creature with a it's a green insect with like very spindly arms and legs, roughly human shaped, probably actually like 2 pairs of arms, but it's got like a white lab coat on as its main thing, and 2 very large spectacles, it's got these great big bug eyes with even larger spectacles over the top. So, I am Professor Mandibulus. I can help you with my patented Mandibots. With this new legion of forces at your command, the Solar City shall indeed be yours, Lord Draculord, sir. Very well. I assume that this favor will not come cheap? No, they are patented, but I can assure you, my Mandibots are served around the galaxy. People have bought them everywhere. They're pricey, but they're very good. You can find them all sorts of places. Got all sorts of customers. Would love to tell you about this kind of stuff. Oh, actually, here's a thought. If that's not enough to convince you, I've also got a new prototype I can throw in, a troop carrier for my Mandibots. I call it the Mandibus. It's like a helicarrier thing with and it takes the Mandibus. Fine, fine. I will have. Yes, give it to me. I will take 3. I've only got the one prototype. Never mind. I would take as many as you have. With this power, at whatever cost it may whatever cost it may require, I shall crush the ranges of the Solar City. We shall prepare for war. And that's where we'll go off on our break. So we
Dying.
should be back in 10 minutes or so. So please do hang around and we will see you then.
I am deceased. That was great.
Goodbye.
See you in a few.
Yeah, see you later. Shortly.
That's so great.
Hello, we are back. Yeah. So where we left off, Draculord was being evil, and had recruited the services of a Professor Mandibulus and his patented Mandibots, to do something evil involving the city. And in the same solar system, the city is charging up for its first hyper jump activation. So you're all doing your things, and I think you'll get a 10-minute heads up warning, and then a 5-minute warning, and then a 1-minute warning, and it'll start counting down from the 30-second mark. And as it hits 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, wop wop wop, kind of like warp noises. Yeah, there's a kind of the city shakes a little bit. The city, the kind of bubble shield dome that the city is surrounded by, kind of pulses once and then collapses in on itself, and the whole city shrinks with it. The stars, from your perspective, the stars streak past you suddenly and just become a straight line and then flicker back to being points almost a moment later. And the city expands out again from its little bubble in an entirely different solar system. And this one, populated by this red dwarf, so a smaller, but generally older sun, more longer-lived star. The solar system surrounding it has no major planetary bodies outside of a few large asteroids. But there's kind of a disk of rocks that surrounds it. You emerge not probably like between the sun and the first major disk, the first major asteroid belt of the solar system. Adira will confirm successful transit. Hyper jump drive was successful, confirming spatial locations. Target was accurate to within a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a degree. This is an acceptable margin of error. We have, I guess, this is, calibrating all seems to be in accord. Preparing charge, charging for next stage of the journey will take approximately 47 hours. Once there, we'll be able to jump elsewhere. You may wish to, in this case, it will be possible for you as a group to set a destination. Now that the basic test drive has been completed. No outside threats have been detected at present. All is well. Goodbye. Adira will shut up.
It was of course for the next supply station. Get to say resupply it properly, so we won't encounter issues along the journey.
Wouldn't it be the commander's call? Like some of the main. So they're probably handling.
So
that,
I think
right?
Once you've done all that, the commander will reconvene a meeting. But I imagine you recommended that last time, and you would have recommended.
I did.
Again.
Yeah, so they probably just.
I think that's. I might as well ask the players, but I feel like that's what we're leaning towards, is somewhere that you can resupply, and probably with a planet that you can take a break on.
Yeah.
Rather than going somewhere and probably not on the dangerous side of things. Go for the safer option rather than a risky one.
We don't want to go to the place where humans are a bounty? I don't know.
Yeah, sounds.
What kind of bounty? The chocolate kind or the Wild West kind?
I mean, both. Either one would be really bad for like a place that's half humans right now. I'm down for that. I don't think Mariana would. I think similarly to Avery, I don't think she would leave the city. But yeah, sounds good.
I mean, she probably could be convinced to like go to the planet maybe, but she's not a she's an explorer, but she's not made for space. Avery is a lot of things. Made for space? No.
So, yeah, that'll. Yeah, I guess. What does anyone have any immediate plans for after this? Because it's kind of going to be just some time for, again, like
Downtime?
47 hours of rest. In fact, I'll say like a day passes pretty uneventfully.
I think
I mean,
during that uneventful day,
Yeah.
Avery has a plan. But it's
Yeah,
not what you it's not what you think.
Gabriel would have tried again to make work out how to do
Yeah.
the
Census
answers. Thank you.
stuff.
Is Gabriel like still sleep deprived? Is he sleeping?
What's sleep?
Oh, is this a thing with your characters now? None of them sleep?
I mean, I usually sleep, but we are in a situation that I need to work. So
I've given you 47 hours before the next interesting thing happens, okay?
Yeah, 47 hours.
time to sleep.
I guess I can squeeze like 5 or 6 hours of sleep in that.
You know,
I'll look at. I'm
if
looking
you're
at my
really gonna
agenda.
push it, try
It's
and
absolute beautiful.
you know, if you
I
have
mean,
a proper lie-in, then maybe you can squeeze to 5 or 6 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a
I mean,
minute, Gabriel schedules naps and sleep. That's hilarious. I'm sorry, that's funny.
I mean, I have my schedule is all filled up. I have to schedule everything. If not, I'm gonna forget. Like I forgot last time because I was working stuff that wasn't on my schedule before. As soon as I finish with the scanner, as soon as I'm finished with the scanner, I will be going to sleep. And as
Well, you better hope you succeed this role then.
And with going to sleep, I mean I'm gonna crash at the console as soon as I got.
Yay, success. I did it.
Hits like head falls down, hits the delete progress button.
No.
So, anyone else got plans?
Nothing like significant, but she does reach out to Fenrir, and she says like if there's a way to just like text message, like send a text message, it would say thanks for yesterday. Looking for a bit of a workout and some training if you want to.
Fenrir actually does text back, but says, "Not today. Just simply not today."
That's she just, and then the reply that comes back is whenever you're good for it. And I think that's like Avery's attempt to like meet Fenrir where he's at. Because she was like, "Oh, okay, he went to
do training, and now
with me."
you've said you're going to do training, and now he's kind of fine. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I feel like she's starting to kind of like, you're like, okay, he's trying, and then it's like, okay, I'm actually gonna try too. Like training is important, I guess. So she kind of just reaches out as a sign of goodwill and like a like a thing, or she's acknowledging what he did the previous day as well. So that's also, she just goes skateboarding, and that's like really like she'll just skateboarding, blow off some steam, do some dangerous like skateboarding tricks like off of ramps in different buildings or whatever in the city. Just Oh, and also she'll probably want to reach out to Mariana because you said 47 hours, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is
at some point-
definitely enough time for people to run a proper background check.
Well,
Bum, bum, bum.
I'm gonna talk. I would like to talk to Mariana at some point.
Yeah. So without Mariana and Mo doing anything?
It's a couple days. I don't know, Mariana. Are we doing anything exciting?
You're muted, darling.
Muted.
I'm muted?
No,
No.
Mariana.
The other one.
Hey, all right. I feel like we did some pretty good breakthrough about the markings on the Silver Shark Hammerhead Zord. But Muro, you said that Muro had some other work to do, or was it just helping Mariana and making sure that she doesn't?
The only other work was basically to make sure that if we are going to explore, like you had said, to kind of make sure we're not they were not immediately going to alert someone who's going to come arrest you.
See, yes, good call. Then yeah, I think beyond the archiving stuff, she would love to go check out the Black Spire.
Okay.
So we can either go do that, or we could say we're going to do that and set out to do that. I'm down for either.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's up to Ben. I don't know what we need to do.
No,
I'm just saying that we kind of explore for a few minutes and we'll.
Yeah, sorry. I keep doing
Put
this thing of asking
neat
you
thing
what you want
later.
to do and then waiting and trying to get all your answers so I can plan things out. But yeah, I think Fenrir, you were going to talk. Fenrir was going to talk to Scott, wasn't he? He was going to set up an appointment with Scott.
Mhm.
So, let's start off with Gabriel's role, just to see how long it takes him to fall asleep.
Oh no.
Check.
Let's
This is going to be
see.
difficulty 10 now.
Yay. There's no
Natural
way I'm
one.
gonna fail that.
It's fine.
Thank
you just
you.
need to roll the same as you did last time.
Yeah.
Don't jinx
What
yourself.
could possibly go wrong?
Dun, 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 dun.
My D20 is cursed.
You got a 6 on the skill die this time as well.
Again. Yeah. My skill dice, perfect. D20, not having. It's a 2 now.
Can we just
Okay,
send LK like special dice that won't curse?
I should probably be rolling.
I mean, I still roll like garbage with my real dice, but at least they're my real dice.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yep,
why not?
yep.
But
I was just
yes.
it was just
So I
what's
think
the word?
what happens.
Laziness.
Yeah, I think what happens in this case is you definitely intend to get some sleep once you're done, and you're like, right, okay, I've got this figured out. Okay, hit this button, got it sent. Okay, that's the prototype done. I'm done, and Gabriel just kind of flops down and takes a nap, and then when he wakes up like 8 hours later, realizes that actually the work he'd done hadn't been nearly enough. And he's still got a lot more work to do. And he thought he was done. He thought he'd done his prototype, but actually missed a couple of things. And because
yeah. I didn't sleep enough, and I now that I'm sleeping. Oh wait. Oh no. Oh. At least I got a nap.
yeah. And you got a good one as well because you didn't have to feel like you weren't.
I was so
buying
sure I
work
was
you could do.
done.
You were
I was
sure that
so
you'd got your
sure.
work done.
I was so sure. Best part, I have no idea where my real dice are.
So I guess you're stuck with the cursed ones for now.
Roll 20 is cursed.
Always cursed. Always.
So
Yeah. So I think what's probably then next major thing is Fenrir setting up a meeting with Scott. Because I think he'll, if you don't approach him within a reasonable period of time after, like within a couple of hours after the jump, he'd definitely contact you. I imagine you do contact him first.
Yes, I do.
Good. Are you available for a meeting? You want to talk?
There's a couple of loud bangs as he's taking shot at firing range.
Bang twice for yes. Shoot once for no.
Come to Blue
Or
Spire.
speak for either.
Come to Blue Spire.
That wasn't a yes or a no, but I'll go to the Blue Spire.
And his ability to answer neither.
So yeah, he'll come to meet you in the Blue Spire. Yeah, looks like you got a nice place set up here. You're making this by your kind of home now?
Easier to work when you live in the place that you have to work in.
True, but I will also point out, I mean, you shouldn't need me to point out the idea of work-life balance, though actually you might do. Sometimes a good commute can help the mind think about other things.
Well, we have plenty of that. We have
Yeah,
plenty of a commute at the moment. A couple more shots come out. He changes the revolver into a rifle, and targets go farther down range.
actually, do you want to tell me, is this something that Fenrir usually
Does?
Like, is it something he's used to, or is it? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So he'll
Is...
kind of be nonplussed by it. Or whatever. Okay, yeah, I mean that makes sense. So, how have you been finding things? Obviously, you're still training, so you obviously haven't let loose too much. But are you doing okay? Obviously, a lot of very stressful stuff has happened recently.
I mean, you know it. I mean, you know what's coming down the pipe. Shouldn't be that much of an. Shouldn't be that much. Shouldn't be that. Shouldn't be that mysterious. You know what's gonna happen. You know what's happening. You should know better. You should know better.
Yeah.
Better than most of the people here.
Yeah. Have you talked to anyone about what we think is happening?
It's taken a couple more shots, and now it's starting to look like just straight up avoiding the question.
Oh, I'm going to assume that means you haven't told anyone. Because, like, I mean, so your past is your past. But and I'm not doctor-patient confidentiality and all that, and also just friend confidentiality. I'm not going to talk about it if you won't, but if you think the Midnight Emperor is what's behind a lot of this stuff and is going to be a threat, then it's going to be worth talking to other people about. You need to, even if you don't let them know about your own history with him. You should.
What do you expect me to say? This is the same guy we've lost everything to. The same guy that I don't have a real arm anymore. Taking more shots downrange.
I mean, is that the most important thing about him, that he's beaten you before? He's just, in many ways, he's just another despot out there, and I know it's personal, but compared to someone like Emperor Grum, compare people like that. If you were talking about him, would it be, if you had reason to believe someone like him was acting against you would mention that, right? Just based on your prior experience, even though he's never crossed you. Even though you don't have personal history with him. Well, something to...
He holsters, changes it back to a revolver and puts it back in the holster. And target practice, as he calls out. Lights come up. We lost the entire squad. And they went willingly.
The entire squad. The two of us made it out. That's... You got to give yourself some credit for that, at least. We wouldn't have made it out without you.
And then the rest of them immediately turned back. We never figured it out. We never figured out what it was they were given. Given to willingly turn over the way they did.
I mean, do we... I think maybe I still give them maybe more credit than you do. Do we know for sure it was willingly? We don't really know why they turned. Why our squad mates turned on us.
They chose to abandon everything that we stood for as Space Patrol. As far as I'm concerned, they never needed us in the first place. And this decision was made without either of our knowledge.
True enough, but I suppose in that way it doesn't... I mean, the betrayal probably still is just as hurtful whether they did so for selfish reasons or if they were coerced or whatever their reasons were. It doesn't make the betrayal hurt any less, really, does it? Yeah,
Am I still fit for duty? Will you still call me fit for duty?
Why do you
Yes or no?
think you're not?
Are you still clearing me?
Do I have any reason not to?
Then this conversation's done.
All right. Well, I'm always here to talk. You want to think any of that over and come back to me? I've always got an open ear. It's been good talking to you again. See you around until he'll wait just long enough that if Fenrir wants to, he can kind of tell him not to leave, but he'll head off. And then we'll pass.
Before he goes completely out of earshot, Fenrir says to Adira, scan spectrum compatibility on Scop real quick.
There is, potential candidate for Ranger, but it is not a sufficient match. Certainly not. Would require additional calibrations and testing. I would not consider him he's not an unsuitable candidate. Obviously, but not best choice.
Continue candidate search then. And restart firing range.
Acknowledged. The firing range pops back up, and in an instant, Fenrir's back to shooting. So over to Avery was going to have a chat with Mariana.
Yeah.
And is also Morrow going to have to be there supervising reasons.
I would like Mero. I would like to join Mero and Mariana's Black Spire excursion. As in, when I say join, she just happens to be going in that direction anyway, because Avery style doing what she wants. But then it's like, oh, duh, it makes sense that Mariana wants to be here.
Yeah, sure. Let's go. I think as you catch up to us, Mariana's just talking Muro's ear off about all the stuff that they found in the archives.
So you see Avery do a kickflip on a nearby bench or whatever, just off of a bench and land next to Muro, and just like, hey, what's up, you guys? And she's wielding Carcharodon as an accessory. And she's like, she's just...
Wow.
Probably shouldn't do a grind with Carcharodon just swinging around.
I mean, he's a lot lighter when I'm not morphed, and I just wanted to see if he'd enjoy it.
I'm having fun.
Well, I guess that's what matters.
Up on my account.
And there shouldn't be too many people around anyway, so.
That's true. Just Mariana takes it one step back. Make sure to stay out of the periphery and you're good.
Yeah. And then she actually just kind of slows down and just casually drifts next to them and says, "What are you guys up
to?" Well, since your mom effectively put me in timeout and Muro's been so great that they vouched for me, I really wanted to check out the Black Spire, since it seems like we haven't really done much, and she's flipping through her notebook of everything she's written down. Exploring there, and that seems like a waste. So I wanted to check that out.
Yeah, I mean, I also wanted to check it out and then failed to realize that maybe you wanted to check it out, spectrum reasons, and then I kind of tunnel vision, but we had the same thought. So, hey Muro, I have a question for you.
Shoot.
So you know that so there's a Black Spire, and she points in the general direction of Black Spire. And then there's the Gold Spire that turns silver, and she points to the general direction of the Silver Spire.
Yep.
Is there a Purple Spire?
Yeah, that's the Blue Spire.
We're still, everyone's still calling it the Blue Spire.
Yeah, admittedly kept calling it the Blue Spire, even though it would have changed
purple
to
yet?
purple. But it's more like it's changed shade rather than color. But yeah, it's now a purpley blue.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I was really confused. I was like, okay, so we pretty much covered that spire, right? You're cool with...
I mean, Nick's brain. Since brain, I have just... Adira's kind of housed there, so it feels like it, between all the researchers and stuff, they've kind of combed it for me.
Not necessarily. There could be stuff that only unlocks when you're there with your super special spectrum powers.
So
I guess that's true. I kind of fought some dudes there. Nothing really happened, but I didn't really spend time exploring. But we can figure that out later.
Of history.
Put it on the list, Mariana.
All right, got it.
Blue Spire next.
Blue.
Oh wait,
Purple Spire next.
Oh, purple. Damn it! This is Ben's fault. We keep calling it the Blue Spire. Purple Spire. Purple Spire next.
I introduced it as the Blue Spire. It's gonna stay the Blue Spire. Gosh darn it!
I mean, it's fine if people want to call it that. Y'all don't really seem to like to change your maps anyway.
Yeah,
I'm
but
trying to be considerate of you, Muro. Scratches out blue, writes in purple.
I'm sorry, my brain's still not used to it. I mean, my spire literally just changed colors. Everything's changing.
Yeah, I think we've again. What was it? Who was is it the Golver Spire? That's the
gold
the
spire
gold and
turn.
silver spire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All the others were
That-
much more minor
that
changes,
gets-
from what I
yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've also gone with the blue has kind of just changed to a shade of purple, so it's not been a massive shade change, but also it is the largest change out of the other ones, other than like the.
Are we like halfway between the two spires right now? Like, where are we? Like, right in front of the black spire?
You're probably just right in front of the black spire. Like you'd have to, because they're all like laid out basically in a hexagon. Like you'd have to be trying to be midway between the 2 points in order to be midway between the two,
Okay.
unless you're in the middle. But, yeah.
So Avery just says, "By all means," and then gestures towards the black spire at Mariana.
Okay.
Now, remember, if we see anything confidential, you totally closed your eyes.
Yep, absolutely I did.
Okay.
Great. I love that everyone's on board with this. Fantastic, Muro. What a great job you're doing keeping me under wraps.
Morrow, you're going to get a call on your communicator at this point.
Yeah.
Mariana sits down on a rock if it's a video call.
What can I do for you, Commander?
I've just been running background details on Mariana. How's she been behaving?
Very well. She's taken to studying a lot of the linguistic drifts, which is going to be very helpful in the long run.
All right, and you've kept her away from any potentially compromising material?
Yeah, definitely. Most of what we've been looking at, neither of us can read at the moment, and I haven't noticed her copying any of it down in like a personal capacity.
In the journal she keeps on her all the time. Okay, well, good. That's good to hear. Could you pass on a message for her, please?
Of course.
Just let her know that we've found some inconsistencies with the information she sent us as part of her recruitment, and we're going to need to talk to clarify some of those inconsistencies. And while I'm willing to lend her the benefit of the doubt with regards to all of this glitch monster information getting revealed stuff, if she's got anything that she wants to tell us, she should tell us soon, before the city moves to its next destination. That's the deadline I'll impose. About 36 odd hours from now.
Of course, Commander. I'll let her know right away.
Excellent. All right. See you later.
Great. See you later, Commander. Mariana, how much of that did you hear?
Above table. Was it on speakerphone or did you just like have it on personal communicate?
I would have just had it on the personal, just in case random whatever happened while with the speakerphone. Monster attack, who knows?
Yeah. Then I think Mariana's just kind of like looking up at the spire since she sat down and is just taking notes. And is just looking at her notes as she's writing and is just like, well, considering you said Commander, I'm assuming that she wanted to check up on the babysitting. So not much.
Apparently, they found. Where is that? They found something that she wants to discuss with you. An issue with your. I assume dealing with all of these new accusation. Yeah, we'll go with that word.
Under her breath, she closed her journal, and under her breath is like, I really should have paid that guy more than $60. Accusation's a good word for it until I have to eventually talk to them.
And the other part of that being that she wants you to talk to her before we arrive.
Yeah, or I don't know if I explained it properly, but it's basically like she's gonna want to schedule a meeting with you at some point soon. But also, if you've got anything you need to tell her, she's kind of giving you a she's going to be more lenient if you tell her within like the next 36 hours, basically.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Than if she has to find out for herself.
I had gotten that part. I just don't think Murrow would talk about it because he just assumes her to be that she'll be truthful with whatever the issue is.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
it's why I ignored that part. It's just because he's like, oh, she'll tell her whatever is going to happen.
Okay, this is very frustrating because Mariana is my name. I am Mariana. Just maybe not my first name.
You all do like a lot of names. That's true.
Yeah, Latinos do have at least 4 or 5 at minimum.
No, sorry. I meant like everyone on the surface. You all have a lot of names.
Oh, yes, that too. That is true. Also, Latinos, subset of humans. A lot of names. And then she kind of like looks at Avery and is just like, about how lenient would you say your mother is? Scale of like 1 to 20.
Hey, in terms of someone who's grown up 22 years with the commander and has gotten into her fair share of mischief as a child, what would be the general experience in terms of leniency? I feel like I picture their relationship as this like they clash, but also because it's just been the two of them growing up, like single mother, they're also really close. But
yeah, I think like she definitely acts a lot stricter than she is. I think like she behaves kind of like very much like don't cross me kind of thing, but also she's willing to cut you some slack and things like that. Probably there's been times when like after she quit Nasada and left that group and before she joined the Society where she was more on this left when she was less lenient and before that she was kind of more, but she's kind of dipped and troughed in terms of leniency, I guess. So like yeah, she will cut you some slack sometimes, but she doesn't let things go necessarily.
My mom's really great at hanging on to things. So that's a personality trait, but the thing I've always valued about her is that I've always been able to just be honest with her. And it hasn't always had the best reactions, but she will always hear you out. That being said, I clash a lot with the business side of my mom, but there's another side to her you can appeal to. You know, just speak from the heart. I am gonna ask you though. Real talk. Is any of it true?
She reaches into like her bomber jacket and then pulls out 2 business cards and like hands them to Moreau and Avery. Yes, it is true. My name is Mariana. It is my middle name. I am an archivist of sorts in that way that a journalist could write things about history. Yes, my name is Andrea. I am not here to look at anything about your mother and the business of everyone here. I am here for the fact that this is, it's Atlantis. It's what we believe to have known as Atlantis. And you cut out everyone who could have benefited from the information about this. So I just wanted someone's actual journalistic response to this as opposed to looking at only the data. So I flirted with some people and I paid a guy $60 to fake my data information.
Probably should have paid more.
Probably should have paid more. To be fair, I don't think I had flips through her journal. Data, creature, and shadow monsters unveiling me on my bingo card.
Yeah, I'm not sure it fits in the box on the
No,
thing.
Real tiny.
Yeah.
It didn't have
If
power.
it wasn't there, it'd be quite hard to read.
I didn't have Power Ranger on my bingo card, but I mean, we're here now. So
that one's a lot easier to fit on.
Yes, I mean, as someone who
So that actually, let's say retroactively, that was Clark Abaddon making those remarks. 'Cause that's the kind of thing he would say. It was me out of character, but also it was Clark Abaddon now, apparently.
Yeah, no, I totally pictured it was Clark
Me
Abaddon.
too. Yeah.
And then she just says, as someone who's passionate about knowledge, I can understand your perspective. And I can understand that you probably saw no other way to access the knowledge you were looking for. We live in a world that isn't always fair. I think you should tell the commander the truth about what you're after. But that's for you to decide. I can only tell you so much about how lenient she may or may not be. She genuinely cares about her job and protecting the people of this city. So maybe if you appeal to that part of her, the thing that she's passionate about, and reassure her that you won't be a danger to these people and remind her that you are here to protect them and that your methods were only a means for you to learn more. Maybe she'll see that you and I aren't that different.
Also, if she does try to fire you, I control a giant shark. So, you know, I can always eat her or something.
We're not going
just
to feed...
if it comes to that, you know.
No, let Clark Abaddon talk.
Okay,
Or just like, I don't know, scare her a bit, I guess. I can do like, I can tone down the eating things. Was that too much?
just a little bit, buddy. Just a little bit. We'll work on it, okay? But I
Okay.
appreciate
Right.
I appreciate that you're there for us. See, like
Yeah, of course.
Carcharodon
I mean,
also
like, I like
also
Mariana.
vouches.
Mariana seems to understand what's going on.
See, even the hammer vouches for you. Like Carcharodon adores you too. So
Vouching.
I adores is strong, but
he likes you.
I will take it. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm gonna have to talk to her in the next 24 hours. So, sure. Yeah.
You're gonna have to face her. But if
Oh.
I have my way with it, you won't be alone. Do you want to hang on to Carcharodon in your pocket for moral support?
do I get a say in this?
Pocket do you want to be in?
Do you want to hang out with Mariana in her jacket for moral support, Carcharodon?
Just for a little while. If you get weird,
No.
I'll leave.
Weird with a hammer. Get over here.
Just don't stroke the hammer.
Okay, well, I mean, that's not exactly what I meant, but also kind of. I mean, if Carcharodon's not down for hanging out as moral support on your jacket, I was going to maybe just, find some place to hide during this meeting so I can be there without being seen, like for moral support.
I mean, you could also just you can also just come with me. I'm sure Murrow has to come with me to make sure I don't run. So
I was hoping you're not going to, but yes, I assume they'll want me to. You might want to talk to Adira too. You were chosen by her. Did we decide it was a her? Yeah, we'll go with her for now.
Yeah, she found that humans like things having pronouns, and so she picked those ones.
Nice.
Because you were selected with the rest of us.
yeah, I have been trying to figure that out. I really can't narrow it down. But yeah, I was picked to be a ranger. That is certainly a plus in my favor, I suppose.
If nothing else, it's a little hard to replace you, so...
Very true. She'd have to let me out of my room every so often.
Listen, we have some time. Why don't you go frolic around in the Black Spire and check some stuff out, and we'll be right behind you. I always like a good exploration sometimes when I'm not feeling, particularly great about something, When I'm feeling sad, I just dig a hole. That's how I found Carcharodon.
Wait,
it's true.
The hammer was in a hole?
I dug him out from a pile of ancient rubble.
Oh.
Yeah, so like a reverse hole.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Reverse hole. I'm sorry. This just got really, really unhinged. Sorry. Yeah, so I mean just go and have an explore and see what you can find. Also, when I'm feeling sad, kickboxing also works.
That is very fun. I do also love kickboxing. Mariana kind of like puts Carcharodon in like the right side of her bomber jacket. Well,
yeah.
You two, I think we should check this out and at least have fun before the yelling starts.
That's the plan. I have a question. When Carcharodon grants edge, is it specifically to me or is it to the wielder? I have to double check that actually.
Yeah.
Cause if Mariana's holding if Mariana's holding Carcharodon, would that
Yeah.
give her edge to the skills?
It should be just you. I feel like that
Yeah,
makes.
it'd probably be just you. I think I'd like give an upshift because he can still give advice
Help.
and
Okay,
be bantery
that works.
and so on.
I tried. Listen, I like to share the
No,
He
that's
can
fair.
banter.
Like, narrative question though. When Avery hands me Carcharodon, does anything happen? Because from my understanding, she's been the only one that's held Carcharodon.
She's handed
I
Carcharodon off to
think-
Gabriel once for
Yeah, but that was
observation.
before
Yeah.
you were
That was before the
Rangers.
Ranger stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think nothing really happens
Yeah.
in kind of the same way that like Fenrir and Mara are able to carry the other people's like morphin card things and pass them
Nope.
off without any weird effect.
Yeah,
So
unmorphed Carcharodon doesn't
it's
give you
basically just going to be a
access to-
case of like, yeah, Carcharodon can't change into his other morphed form. He couldn't control the Zord like this.
Yeah, you could, and you couldn't
you
morph.
can't, and Avery can't morph.
Yeah, just like give me back my hammer. That's my morpher. Wait a minute.
Absolutely not.
Get out of here. And no, I forgot about that bit. Like, I'm gonna need the hammer back at some point.
See, we got it. The Silver Ranger has neutralized.
Now is the time to strike.
No.
Poor Chop.
Get out of here.
Dracula, bring me home.
The betrayal. How dare you?
My plan has been successful.
Oh,
So
the
let's-
stuff with Professor Mandibulus was just a distraction.
The Manibus is just arrived.
Mariana rips off a mask to reveal an insect head behind it.
No. So we go into the spire.
Yes. Yep.
Also, I don't think I actually handed Carcharodon off. I think it was for later when she goes to talk to
Oh, okay.
Oh,
commander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there
Um,
goes my plan to ambush you.
Yep.
Yeah. Boo.
He says only half jokingly. So I guess in terms of exploring the Black Spire, I
Is
don't
there a-
particularly have any unique stuff for you to discover in her.
Yeah.
In terms of snippets and things I've got to drop, the one over here. I guess, yeah, exploring the place you can get into the old Zord Bay, it will still be damaged. There's no Zord here. Looks like this section didn't sustain particularly heavy damage, just some very light stuff, like just the kind of stuff that the rest of the city did with general impacts, rather than it being specifically targeted. You could guess from that whereas like the gold Zord was kind of ambushed, this one had already left by that point, was already outside of its bay. Yeah, if there's anything, I guess anything specific you're looking for, I can try and throw out some information on that. That's the main thing I can think of.
No, she mostly wanted to see if there was any differentials between the different spires. So, like, the purple spire has like a large Corvadira in it. The silver spire had a lot of the stuff with the very interesting markings of the Silver Shark Sword. So she's trying to like identify if each of the spires has different things and special abilities about them.
Yeah, not really. So it's basically the same. Like, even with the silver one, it still shared the same core as the blue one, and that all of the other ones shared. It's the same rough shape. It's still got the same like column of energy, like light column that goes down the middle.
Okay.
In this case, yeah, like the Adira's core being there was kind of like it was concentrated in that location. Actually, probably because make some kind of culture-y role, probably culture, when I say, but or technology role, I guess, some kind of intelligence-y thing.
I assist.
Yes, you can.
Mariana.
Yep.
So that's an upshift for the assist, or
Yeah, was an upshift. Yeah.
Okay.
Just to kind of like figure out a bit of logic.
Yeah.
Before I just hand it straight to you.
That is going to be a 15.
Yeah. So what you could assume is that the original Blue Ranger might have helped create Adira in that process, and that's why Adira's core was based there. And her core isn't necessarily a physical thing; it was just like a presence within some of the computers there, focused in that section. Like she was kind of, I guess, cut off, like or like retreated behind a firewall kind of thing and went dormant. What you can also do is like with the Silver Spire, you're able to hook her up to that. You could extend her reach to also include this spire and just like build some more of her connections throughout the city.
Yeah, I'll do that. Because I think that's a good idea to get Adira more connections to the spires.
Okay. Greetings. I am Adira. I am engaged through this console. You have discovered the Black Spire. This is good.
Avery gives Mariana a high five.
The like Assassin's Creed like spins around the camera thing is like the map around that area opens up.
Amazing. Hey Murrow, check this out. Mariana did something.
Synchronized.
Yeah, she's done a lot.
Actually,
yeah, you say that like it's surprising.
No, not surprising. Exciting. It was an excited tone. Okay, excited for Mariana.
Speaking of, Muro, were there areas over in this part of the city? And she kind of like vaguely gestures in like the direction of like the wall of the spire that weren't able to be accessed by the merfolk?
Let me think for a second.
Like, yeah, there's probably so. The Merfolk basically got here the same time as the Atlantis Initiative. The main difference being that they can explore the more flooded sections of the city. This area is probably equivalently flooded to the west, so like it's not. There's yeah, they'd probably been able to scout here, but not really look at anything in depth. Similarly, just because they're part of the initiative and wouldn't have.
There's nothing particularly blocked off, but we haven't really had a chance to get over here too far, just because Neptune and the rest of our original group decided it was best to work with everybody else and not just kind of start poking around when we could accidentally turn something on that might activate a laser grid and murder everything above water, for example.
True. That would not be good. Okay. Well, if Commander Thorpe does not react to me well, I want you to use the controls in the Black Spire to help with the merfolk finding things underwater. Because it seems like Adira now has access to certain things in this section of the city through the spire, and I think that would be a very good assist.
I mean, that sounds amazing. There's so much, honestly, even our legends of what you all like to call Atlantis was so far off. We still are. Thank you. Hopefully you'll be around to activate them, though.
I would like to, but you know, I'm making precautions. Just in case she takes away my Carcharodon and she kind of like gestures to her morpher.
I'm not as versed as I'd like, but feel like whenever these sorts of things have happened, it's never gone well if someone just is completely removed.
Mm.
But
Sorry.
So, we're going to be talking about this. Do you want to just go now?
We can, sure.
I mean, it's not that I don't like being in your pocket. And it's not that I want to get it over and done
You're
with
not.
as soon as
You're not.
You're not in the pocket.
Or is it? Yeah.
No, we retconned it.
Yeah, we
Yes.
retconned it. Anne apparently did not hand.
And it's not that I'm just trying to get into your pocket as soon as possible.
Best retcon ever.
Wow, Carcharodon. That's surprisingly
admit-
not the first time someone said that to me.
Lucky you.
You might call
Moving
the
on.
commander before you just barge into her office, though. I feel like that would earn you points.
But the dramatics of just busting down her door and telling her the truth.
My mother is sufficiently dramatic enough on her own. You don't need to add to it.
But would she, if she's so dramatic, would she appreciate the extra drama?
That's fair.
I'd at least make sure there's not a bunch of other people in the office, then.
Maybe I got it all wrong. She's
Your mother lives for drama.
Maybe in her personal life, but professionally, she's very straightforward and to the point, as you understand. So maybe I wouldn't recommend the drama personally, just for your sake.
Fine. She kind of clicks open her communicator and puts it on speed dial.
Beep, 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 beep.
Oh, no.
She's not picking up my calls. Whoop, I tried.
Hello?
Oh, Commander Thorpe, hi.
Yes, Mariana.
Yes, I was told you wanted to speak with me at some point in the next 24 hours.
Yes, I do.
Well, I am scheduling an appointment.
Excellent. When for?
Anytime in the next... She's just noiselessly gesturing to Murrow and Avery.
As she mouths
24 hours?
She mouths
Like the
as soon as
deadline I
possible.
gave you?
In the next 2 hours? I don't know. I just don't want to move around your schedule.
Get here ASAP. Commander Thorpe out.
That's
Awesome.
Well,
Yeah. Yep. Let's go get me arrested.
Cut to. Yeah. Door opens up.
Oh, we're still on this. Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna go straight to, I think that's probably a good scene to end with, roughly.
Sure.
So we're gonna go hop straight over to there. Are Morrow and Avery also gonna go in? Or are they gonna
At
leave
least to the
Mariana
door.
on her own?
Gabriel is not gonna be able to finish.
Avery at this point will, with Carcharodon's consent, offer the Hammerheads moral support, but only if Carcharodon consents.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Okay. For the duration of this meeting, you have an emotional support, sassy hammer.
An emotional sassport hammer.
I'm dying. Okay, I'll be right outside.
We'll
when
both
Morrow
be
waiting.
outside.
You'll see me at the comedy club every Friday night.
Is there a comedy club in this floating
There
city?
should be.
It's more of a comedy
Yes,
weapon.
There
not-
isn't. Yeah,
Get out of here.
Yeah, it's more of a
Let's go.
comedy mallet, really, than a proper club.
Okay. Mariana's meeting. Let's go.
Yep, let's go. All right.
Muting myself.
Okay, so Commander Thorpe will, I guess, like, not the big conference hall thing you were in earlier, but just like her office. So, and she like flick on, I guess, like a, yeah, or I guess like sleeper computer, put down the laptop. Right. You had something to say to me? Because I can lead with what we've been able to figure out, or you can just tell me everything.
So, yes, I am a journalist. Yes, Mariana is one of my names legally. It's my middle name.
Trench one of your names?
Not one that I chose. It's something that many old coworkers ruefully tend to call me in regards to my thought processes on what is important to research and write about.
I see. So
I guess the joke being bottomless trench, you throw something in there, it never comes out because nothing good is going to be at the bottom.
Well, I'm glad you're very self-aware. Do you have anything more? What exactly are you doing in my city?
I'm here because it struck me the importance of a finding like this, of a city, of Atlantis, what we believe and call to be Atlantis, and not letting other people in, not letting people see the cultural significance of how important something like this is, of how much grander civilization in our planet can be. And looking at it more with just what could we garner technology from it. Did you know? And she kind of pulls out her journal and starts flipping through. The silver shark sword has markings that are indicative of the city of Jericho. How interconnected their history is to our history is fascinating. Not from the standpoint of power or technology, but from the standpoint of the fact that we are all beings on what we were previously hooked up on as a rock, spinning in space, not this that we are now spinning in space. I am not here to take you all on a ride. I'm not here to write a snuff piece. I want just someone to talk about the history of people. That's all I want. And maybe to prove that being interested in Atlantis and things that were thought to be fake isn't folly. But admittedly, I shouldn't have paid a guy $60 to get me here.
Yes, that's the bit that I'm most objecting to. And to be honest, we could spend hours discussing the necessity of keeping things like this a secret and the virtues of sharing such information openly. Right now, that's not particularly relevant, given that we can't really share it with anyone at the moment anyway. But how did you... The thing I should probably know from a security standpoint is, how did you actually find out in the first place?
or rumblings of a finding in the ocean, and me being interested in, well, things that are seen as cryptoscience, I looked into it and I thought, surely, what is in the ocean? What is the big gem that we've all dreamed of being in the ocean? And I dug through some very not great back channels and eventually found that a call was going out to some of the brightest archaeology students for assistance. And a lot of archaeology students are perhaps not the most socially conscious, and you can flirt with them in coffee shops.
Something to consider for next term, I suppose. Find less.
Avery, it cuts to Avery and Murrow, and she's like, "That's how she did it," and then cut back. I probably knew that guy.
Well, as much as I disagree with your methods, I can say you've proved your worth to this team, if not as a ranger, then actually just the finding about, what was it, Jericho that the Silver Sword was related to, is certainly an interesting one. So I would say make me a perception, not persuasion check. Give me something to see how well this goes.
Okay. And then do I get an upshift?
I'm gonna. Oh yeah, upshift
with Carcharodon?
I don't know. Can Carcharodon help with persuasion checks? Muted, but sorry.
Okay. Okay. So the skills that Carcharodon has are all smarts based. Sorry, I really leaned into smart hammer.
You're all good.
Can I, however, hold on? Can I, however, because I am moral support bestie right now, offer my D2 of inspiration? It's only a D2.
Oh yes, but... D2 of inspiration, definitely. Yeah, well, so that's what basically giving her Carcharodon.
Yeah.
Cool. So you get an extra D2 on top of everything else that you add to the final result, and also I'm giving you an upshift because that was very well argued.
Okay. Can I also use one of my quips and speeches?
Yes.
Abilities.
What does that let you do? That lets you add.
Let me
add something to persuasion check.
That technically. Oh wait, do the quips and speeches by themselves do something? I never actually.
There's like various things that quips and speeches do.
Yeah, I know that they give other people stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know if
they can give it. I think at third level you do get one of those, like it lets you help yourself, or it might be like 5th level or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm quickly looking it up.
Yeah, it's in the Black Ranger stuff. I'm just D20's fighting me.
No, it's okay. I'll find it for you because this is my favorite spectrum.
I'm gonna find it for you.
No, listen, I love you.
Oh, you can by expending one of your quips and speeches per long rest and asking the non-player character. Okay, you can ask someone for favor.
The favor is, do you believe me?
The favor is, don't eat me out of the city.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a no.
That's right.
But you're definitely getting an upshift for cool arguments.
Cool.
So the D2 gets added to your result. It's not like another skill dash. Yeah. So roll your total and then D2.
Awesome. Okay. Ooh. Okay. And then D2. Okay. 19.
Yeah, that completely. She got a 6 on her whatever contested roll she makes. You're lucky that I only have this one dice in that it is not great. But
I'm gonna send you a link to the UK store for Power Rangers dice, so that you get.
Honestly, yeah, maybe not a bad investment. But yes. So she will, like, she'll hesitate slightly. Go. I mean, you make a good case. I
Chris is coming later.
still would very much preferred you to not have done that, but so be it. There's a part of me that feels like I should take your Morpher away, like I couldn't trust someone like you as a ranger, but you've also more than proved yourself. And I think what it comes down to, and then there's an alarm sound. Adira pops up across this. New approaching vehicle, approaching aircraft, approaching spacecraft detected. And Commander Thorpe will say, well, it looks like you will be needing that, Morpher. It's time for you to get to work.
Be needing mine too.
I am the Silver Ranger now.
Ooh, and the Black Ranger.
Damn it! This was not well thought out.
Power.
So, as out across at the edge of the city, a great big green bus kind of thing with 6 wheels, kind of like stylized, like rounded windows, and these like wings that stick out and like kind of Quinjet from the Avengers sort of thing, of like spinning helicopter blades within the wings, and it's got 2 sets of those, and it flies down, and like instead of having wheels, it's got like a set of like legs to kind of hold it and stabilize it, and like 3 pairs of those, and it lands and kind of crawls along a little bit and shuts down, and this is in like the middle of one of the city streets. The back opens up, and 3 green insectoid robots with these great big mandible kind of jaws sticking out, and each of them with a pair of legs and 2 pairs of arms, each with great big long blades down, like attached to the back of one of those arms. And they will like lumber out and go, seek, locate, destroy. And that's where we'll end the session. So I hope you all had a good time. I've been Ben at Astronomer on Twitter, and astronomer.htio is where I sometimes, very rarely, or where I used to do RPG writing stuff. Who knows, you will see more there at any point. That's me, that's my relevant stuff. You can find me here. Next up.
It's LK.
Yay, hello. Hi, I'm LK. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry that my own contribution this time was failing to roll science. And
I love it when the science guy fails to science.
The science guy failed to science. Thanks, D20. I hope you guys get to enjoy more and more Power Rangers from us, because it's really fun. That's it.
And Minnie.
Hey, hooray! I have been Andrea Elizondo, revealed at last, the Black Spectrum Ranger. You can find me at Stalwart Ursa on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and now YouTube. Check me out. I'm doing all kinds of fun geek things and character deep dives.
Yeah, remind me to get that new overlay for a link to our to Nilsine next week, because I don't think I gave you that link. Anyway, speaking of which, Nilsine.
Hi, I'm Nilsine. I'm on Twitter still at @fel_strike, although I don't do a lot. Most of it at the moment is kind of political, because that's the world we live in. Yeah, that's it for right now.
And Talon.
Right. Hi, I'm Talon. Captain Talon 447. Number 4401 on Discord. Still Captain Talon 447 on Twitter. And you can just find me wherever. Anyways, back to you, Anne.
And this is my channel. I played Avery, our Silver Ranger. God, I love her. So a couple of things. ! Solar City tips. In case you want to drop a few dollars and that gets shared among the cast. I keep forgetting to mention it, but it is a thing that I have set up. And also stick around for the raid. We will be raiding into Manapod Studios, a UK-based streaming channel. They do a lot of great, awesome TTRPGs. So give us a few minutes to jump on over there. We will be starting an hour and a bit later next week, just due to some scheduling things. We'll have a shortened session, just so everyone is aware. But we will see you next week, hopefully, and then figure out what's happening during the holidays and update everyone on Twitter at the Bard Network. Have a great weekend, and may the power protect you.
Thank you.
It's like that.
It makes me feel like I'm living in the Power Rangers of my childhood. Like, my other game is like, I don't know, like Power Rangers trying to be serious, but this is like Mighty Morphin era cheese, and I love it so much. Which
Holy shit! Yeah, that's actually really good. I like that.
It is.
It's
Yeah, because
perfect
it
Power
fits because
Rangers.
they're all like outside people coming in trying to
this is
wreak
not
havoc. Yeah.
this is not my this is definitely I'm not what I'm expecting from this experience is different from what I'm expecting from my other game, right? Like this is just so much fun,
Yeah.
and I love that my two games are very different, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel redundant. Like if I wanted serious RP, versus this is just goofy Power Ranger shit and I love it. There's a